What's up, boys?
Hey,
Welcome out.
It's been too long.
it's been unbelievably too long.
I didn't even know I had employees for about a month.
Yeah.
I didn't know I worked with other people for a while.
You still feel that way.
Yeah, it's been a while since we sat down like this and done an episode.
Yeah.
Man, we talked in our last video that we just dropped, which finally got out. We've been sitting on that footage forever. It seemed like that video was never going to come out. But man, we were just talking in that video about how like we collectively weren't all together for so long.
Yeah.
And then we came back and tried to get back in our routine, and it was a little weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little hectic.
Yeah.
First things first, we have our golden ticket items that we have not shipped out.
We're on it.
It's coming. Listen, in the last month, it's been a little hectic. As you guys saw, we just got the install done on the auto. That's been up and running and trying to get things situated. And when me and Corey being out with kids and stuff, everything just got real stripped down to where we just had to kind of just take care of business.
Yep.
And the extra stuff had to get pushed to the back burner.
Yep.
But we're getting back in the swing of things. Stuff's going to be getting shipped out. We're going to be taking care of that. Once we get those first initial items shipped out, we're going to jump back in and get the page updated and get the rest of those items sent out to somebody else.
Yeah. The thing is, it's really all your guys' problem. You guys were too nice, too generous by giving us too many things to give away. So it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is tough finding, like trying to get stuff to the right person. It's a little tricky. So we're still figuring that out. So thanks for offering us some grace in that.
Yeah.
While we work through this.
Yeah. We may not be the Amazon of giving stuff away yet, but
Does Amazon even give stuff away?
no, I'm saying that the shipping speed.
No, I know, but I just didn't know. Maybe
don't
they
know.
give stuff away.
I don't know. I should hit them up to get some free stuff.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
What else, guys?
We're here. We're live and direct in the 963.
The 963.
Oh, just kidding. The 46. I don't know.
46131.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, the first thing we could do is address the Jordan in the room.
Yeah. The white and red elephant.
Oh man,
I wasn't going to call you an elephant.
No, it's not like I'm calling you an
appreciate
elephant.
it.
I think that's crazy.
It's just a expression.
But yeah, this is Jordan.
Hey guys, this is Jordan. This is my new hire.
I'm not
This is
supposed
my
to look.
This is my buddy.
Yeah, you can look at me.
You can look at the camera.
We're talking
Give a
to
good
each other.
showing of this beautiful face. Love it. Yeah, this is my dude, Jordan. Oh man, we have a pretty crazy. See, a lot of people's like, oh yeah, John just hires, new people just randomly. Like that has not been the case. We've been working on this for over 6 months. It seems like.
yeah. Well, John tried to hire me when he started screen printing
I did. I tried to hire him
because
as a
I
designer.
started screen printing at the exact same time.
Exact same time. Yeah, I remember I was out cleaning windows, talking to him on the phone. I was like, "Hey, man, it's like I can like sub you out to do some designs and stuff." And you're like, "I'm not a good designer," and I'm like, "Dude, you're fine. You're great. Just design stuff for me." And you're like, "No,
Yeah, I don't think I did.
whatever."
Fun fact is, you designed something for me though.
I did.
Me and Corey. How many years ago was that now?
What did he design for
Out
us?
at the camp, the main logo.
What does the main logo look like?
I don't remember anymore.
I don't
It was so
remember
many years
either,
ago. It's been 8 or 9 years, I think, ago at this point. But yeah, me and Corey were working at a youth camp that my family owned, and Jordan designed our main logo and stuff. And
Didn't I try to redesign it and did a terrible job?
maybe,
Probably.
yeah, I think that was the case.
Also, Jordan designed my wedding invites.
I did.
Dude,
See, he's a professional
designer.
Dude, he is.
Full-fledged.
And John's best-selling band T-shirt.
You did.
You designed the Ninja Turtle shirt?
No. He did the Blessed Is He lion design that I was like, oh yeah, we'll want 2 different designs. We put like $1,000 in those Ninja Turtle shirts. And then all the other black shirts, the lion shirts that he designed sold out before the Ninja Turtle shirts did.
Dang.
And John never paid me.
And I never paid
No big
him.
deal.
Dang.
Oh, called
He pays
out.
me now.
You got a salary now, buddy.
You should pay him with Ninja Turtle shirts. I saw your mom wearing one the other day.
My mom does wear that.
That's awesome.
And I actually could. There's plenty in the attic.
Yeah.
Are they black?
No, they're green.
Green.
And that's
They're
probably
very
why
green.
that's probably why they didn't sell very much, because people were like, Kelly Green, my favorite color to wear every day.
Ninja Turtle shirt, dude. You have to go green.
I have one in my closet.
I think I might.
See, I just hand them out.
Yeah, I didn't pay for that one. I got handed to me.
That's the next golden item ticket?
Yeah.
Or golden ticket item?
Yeah, let's hand out some
Ninja Turtle
some Ninja
shirts.
Turtle shirts.
Yeah, if you want to see me as Michelangelo holding a microphone with my tattoos and just like Ninja Turtle form, let me know.
Jonathan has a history of having his face
I didn't
on shirts, dude.
think about that.
He's got freaking Ninja Turtle. He's got a skull face. He's got freaking
Golden cards.
Golden Girl boys. He's got the playing card, dude.
Do you know your next design for this?
Actually,
Face on an eagle.
the sneak peek. There might be Jonathan and in the form of a snake.
Oh,
You really got to look at it
boy.
in the right angle, and you'll see him. He's there.
There is a trend going on.
Yeah.
Corey. I didn't realize this.
oh man, that's great.
But anyways, Jordan's here.
So, who are you?
Yeah, who the freak are you, dude?
What's your full name, driver's license number, social?
Yeah.
Urine sample.
Well, I'm Jordan Allen Vickers, not to be confused with my wife, Jordan Ashley Vickers.
That's right.
I didn't even know her middle name was Ashley. Oh, wait, I did, but wow.
Yeah.
So, what does everybody call you guys?
Boy and girl Jordan.
Boy Jordan or girl Jordan?
Or
Jordan.
Her little siblings used to call us Jordan 1 and Jordan 2.
Which one was one?
My wife.
Oh, because they knew her first.
Yeah.
Given.
Yeah.
That'd be funny though if they were like, he's Jordan 1.
Yeah. He is taking over number 1. No. That's me, I guess.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 2 golden retrievers.
Their names?
I have Molly Mazeroski and Lily
Holy.
Lemieux.
What the? Lemieux?
Lemieux.
I feel like this has to be something about baseball.
Yeah, well, Pittsburgh related.
Yeah.
Bill Mazeroski was the second baseman for the Pirates. Mario Lemieux played for the Penguins.
So you like baseball?
I love Pittsburgh sports in general.
Yeah.
But diehard baseball. Pirates, even though we are trash.
Dedicated fan.
Diehard.
That's a true fan, though. All right, so you like Pittsburgh. What else are you into?
The 3 Ps, right?
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh, I love punk music or pop punk music. I've played. That's actually how John and I met each other.
Yep.
Probably 20 years ago at this point.
Yep.
It's playing music in different bands together.
Yeah. When I was just a young lad, in high school, I had nice long flowing hair, no mustache, but I'd go in a sweaty venue and watch Jordan, and he'd play music.
I had long hair at that
Yeah.
point too, and
Yeah, we used to in high school go watch Jordan's band, FAL, Forever at Last. Then they would dance and sing, and it was fun.
Dance and
I
sing.
don't remember dancing.
Oh, you danced.
There was probably some grooving.
You were jumping all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other P is for Plo Koon, which is my favorite Master Jedi.
Master Plo, dude.
Huge Star Wars fan.
Nice.
So do you? I always have this question. Do you hate Star Trek?
Nah, I don't hate it, but
Because some people do.
one is far superior.
I mean, obviously, but some people, yeah. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so you're into Star Wars. You're into pirates in Pittsburgh. You're into
Pop punk.
You're into plucking the strings.
Yeah.
There's another P. You're into printing.
I was gonna say, and
Oh.
then your
I
other
also
love.
am into printing.
And don't forget Pazine.
Oh yeah. Oh my
All right,
God.
maybe not. Pencils. No. Pens?
Procreate.
Procreate. There it is. Do you have Procreate?
Creating too? Cool.
Oh, sick, dude.
I'm the only one here without kids. So
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
Don't
teach you.
worry,
Oh,
dude.
we'll show you how later.
Well, if you guys follow along and Jordan and Jordan have some kids later, you know it's because Corey showed them how.
Yeah. I have some diagrams I can
Oh,
show you.
Lord.
Oh crap.
how do we transition out of this?
I don't know if there is. I think we're just here, man.
So you said you're into printing. How long have you been printing? What is your history in printing?
When did you start?
This is year 7.
So 7 years ago.
Were you just in like a garage like
So
Jonathan?
basically, I played in bands and stuff, and we were actually signed to a label who we signed a contract that said that they had to do all of our printing. But I was like, I want to figure out how to print. So I started doing posters.
Easy way to get into printing.
Right. It was just fun. It was cool. I wanted to do some band prints, and our label didn't offer water-based screen printed posters, so I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I might have printed a batch of shirts without telling them.
Where'd you get your shirts from?
What supplier?
Yeah, I didn't know. Did you just go to like Walmart or did you
No, I think I
actually
used
use a
it's called
wholesale?
Shirt Space.
Okay.
It was more expensive, but you could order like low quantities.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know
Yeah.
Shirt Space.
Yep.
Do.
Nice.
But I was printing water based and then like heat gunning.
Oh, yeah.
And then deep heather, just nice little brown circle around all the designs. And I'm like, that should wash out. No, nope.
I remember when we both started up and what was the name?
J2 Prince.
J2 Prince.
Or Jordan 2.
Yeah, I get it.
Get it? Because there's 2 of us.
So you were with her back then?
Yeah.
Dang, dude, he's committed.
They are married.
Wow.
Oh gosh. I do remember we were both starting at the same time, both, posting on the Instagrams, what we were printing. And I have to be honest, I was thoroughly impressed. You did a 3-color water base print
On a one color press, yeah.
What?
So, yeah. So
I literally would print the first color, take the screen off, dry it with like a hair dryer, just so it would it wouldn't still be wet.
Yeah.
I'd put the second screen on, line it up, print it.
Dude, with water based.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it didn't dry out.
Well, it was only like 15 shirts,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
still, exactly.
still took. I had to be quick. So that lineup was like,
That's like some Indonesian kind of stuff right there,
it's
dude.
crazy.
Dude, the printers out there.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in Indonesia.
Every printer that we see that shares stuff from Indonesia is always like,
Dude, and they're always doing like full process, and it's
Yeah.
like the most.
You're
amazing
better
stuff.
than me.
Yeah.
You're better than I'll
All
ever be.
Indonesian printers are better than American printers.
yeah, it's wild.
But yeah.
So,
So you've been printing for a while. You've been doing design for a while too.
Yep. Well, being in bands, I just
Yeah.
always, that's kind of what I always did in bands was I was just like, oh, hey, I'll design our merch. Hey, I'll print our merch. Hey, anything else we need, I'll just do it so we
Yeah.
don't have to spend money on it.
Right.
yep.
Basically, I'm the best person to be in a band with.
Because you could cover all
I'll
the
do
all the
every-
merch
do it
stuff. Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Hey man, you got to have that guy. It's
Dude.
important. Because not most bands don't get labels that do all that stuff for them.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the beginning at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? Where did you? So the viewers don't know. We know, but where did you come from? Your last place of work. You don't have to name the place.
I will. They were great. I mean, they were good to me and my wife. We both worked there for a long time. It was called The Shop, Indy. They basically make like vintage Indiana sports stuff, college sports, like all that. Like they had licensing for Purdue and IU and all that stuff. So
They do a freaking killer job on the retail game.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So basically, I was in production and I ran the auto there, and my wife was like head of retail, basically.
Yeah.
I think her official title was general manager. I don't remember, but we were there for like 6 years. Watched that company grow from literally having like 4 employees to now they're like, I don't even know what their total is, but a lot of full-time employees and just continue to grow. And Yeah, they were great. It really helped me figure out how to print better.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
How long?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
I already did though at this point, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. How long? So how long have you been running an auto?
2 years, I think.
Okay.
Dude, time doesn't register in my brain
Sure.
anymore. It could have been a week ago, but no. It's probably a little over 2 years.
Okay. So you got a little bit of experience under your belt with auto printing.
What type of press were you running?
We used an M&R Razorback.
Okay.
Great press.
Mm-hmm.
We had this super quiet air compressor, so like you didn't even really hear it half the time.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you hear the new one? The Anatol press? Do you hear that one at all?
Yeah, that air compressor's so loud.
He's joking because there's no air compressor.
That's right.
Yeah.
All servo, baby. Yeah. So here's the moment that we've been. So I hired Jordan for a different reason than printing. I want everybody to know.
Yeah, that's
So
just a bonus.
if you ever want to work for Golden Press, you got to have a lot of skills. You can't have one skill. Are you kidding me?
You gotta be able to do more than one thing.
You gotta be photography, design, printing.
You basically got to be the unicorn.
Yeah, you gotta have multiple skill sets that are gonna, make the business even more amazing than it's ever been.
And if you don't have multiple skill sets, then I recommend you learn how to wash windows.
That is
Yeah.
It's a great way to get hired by Jonathan.
That's the other way.
Which again, multiple skill sets. You got to wash windows and be able to handle some other type of squeegee.
For sure.
we were talking the other day, like all of Jonathan's jobs are squeegee related.
Yeah,
They are.
It's because it's a fun word to say.
Yeah,
Yes.
squeegee.
yeah, it's got a bunch of E's in it.
A lot.
So Corey's right. You need to have multiple areas where, of just talent. And so Jordan and I, we've been working on this for probably, it's been over 6 months. I know that for sure. Of just kind of planning out what the future of Golden Press could be. And again, my entrepreneur brain, it just goes in all these different directions of like, man, how can we make the business better? How can we fit in certain, niche markets? And like, how can we really just serve our clients the best way possible? And so I'm always trying to find that next service we can provide that just encompasses all of that. And then, I remember literally us all just kind of sitting down, and Jordan came to the studio and we just talked out and just kind of, again, casted vision of what this business could look like. And I was like, yeah, let's make it happen. But before we make that happen, let's bring Jordan in. And because we're going auto, that's going to help the auto process of like learning. And it's already been such a blessing for him to have his knowledge and then bring his knowledge to the table. And then it's just really cool that I've noticed so far is that, Jordan was like, had a problem the other day and there was like some ghosting, happening. And he was just like, man, it's just so nice for you to come over and like literally we put our brains together and try to, what's going on? Like, let's think about it. Yeah. And we dissected the problem, figure it out. And now every single job, like, it's just like, yep, dialed. We know off contact.
As
we know
cool as
this.
I think ghosts are.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
just sheet ghosts, not like spooky ghosts. But we don't want that in them.
Yeah, because back in the day, Jonathan tried to talk to me about something like that. I got nothing, man. I got no insight. I'm like,
Corey's like, oh, ghost? Yeah, I'll draw
yeah,
you a
dude, I'm
ghost.
gonna be a sick ghost, and
You drew a sheet ghost.
yeah. Well, yeah, someone actually has it tattooed.
Really?
My friend Connor.
Shout out Connor.
Connor Totes. Yeah, he might be listening. He listens sometimes.
Nice.
But yeah,
Just in general or to the podcast?
both.
He's a really good listener. If you have a problem, give Connor a call.
Yeah, hit him up if you're a single lady.
What's his number? Let's give it out.
Yeah, right. I always try
It'll be in
to.
the show notes.
Yeah, I always try to hook Connor up with people, but he's like, no, man. He's an entrepreneur, man.
Well, at least we'll drop his IG.
Yeah,
drop his IG in the show
we'll drop his IG and shout out to NorCal Pallet Bros.
Killing it.
NorCal Pallet Bros.
If you need pallets removed in California
and you're listening to
and
this podcast,
in NorCal, dude, get rid of your pallets. They'll bring you pallets.
Build you a pallet wall.
Yeah.
I guess, but he's more into just like the normal use of pallets.
Well, back to what
Anyway,
we're talking
what are you
about.
saying?
Jeez.
Anyway, our sponsored segment for NorCal Pallet Bros.
This episode brought to you. Well, real quick before you announce all this, I thought this would be a good time to make sure that Dylan and Andy are listening. They were so eager. So Dylan, Andy, if you're listening, this is the time.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted. This is all that information.
Well, you told them that you were going to call them afterward.
Did you?
do that?
I didn't call them. I did text them, so they already know.
Never
you
mind.
can
But
stop
nobody
listening
else
then.
does.
All right. Right on. Sorry to interrupt.
All right, drum roll. Anyone?
So,
Is that programmed on this thing?
No, sorry. No cool drum rolls.
so the reason why I hired Jordan is because Golden Press is going to have a recording studio.
ARF?
Heck yeah.
Shoot yeah is what John would say.
I do say that. Yeah, Jordan, but talk about it, man. Talk about the vision, talk about
Oh, man.
like how it all just kind of
Do you like music?
I love. And see, here's the thing. I've played in bands literally since I was like 14.
Yep.
And I've always liked writing and performing and all that stuff, but my passion has always been the production side of it, like recording. Like, oh, how can we get that to sound tighter? How can we get that to sound bigger? Like,
Yeah.
that's always been what I've been about. So I don't remember, there was John and I like kind of reconnected, and then out of I think he was texting me one day, and I was like, hey, if you ever want to add audio production to Golden Press, let me know. And then he responded with, well, actually. And I was like, oh gosh. I remember looking at my wife and I'm like, if John's about to say, let's open a studio, I don't know how I'm going to pass that up.
Yeah.
And sure enough, then it was like the week after is when I came and hang out with you guys, and that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking,
Yep.
I think adding audio would really help
Yeah.
Golden Press and be great for us.
Yeah. Well, also, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like I really believe this super strong that like I want to create an environment, and that's what I've told all the guys, and that's why we have just such a close knit team here. Is that I want you to do what you love. That's it. And if I can provide the environment to make that happen, I'm going to. Especially if all of our services that we can offer just connect so well. We've all pretty much we've all played in bands.
Yeah, I played in a Celtic band once.
You did. Let's not talk about that.
It's
Wait, is this for real? You did?
He really did.
yeah,
really did.
yeah. The only only recording of my instrumentation of me playing drums. The only thing that's ever been recorded is me playing drums for a Celtic group.
I love that.
And we took band photos. Even
We might need to re-record.
no.
All right, we've officially spent way too much time on that.
Jared, what band were you in?
I've been in, when I was in high school as a teenager, I was a rapper.
Nice. I can see that.
For a little bit, for like 5 minutes. And then when I was convinced that career wasn't going to pan out, as thug as I was, but I played in a couple of different like little fun goof off bands. And then one time I joined a pop punk band in Indiana for like a minute.
What were they called?
High Five the Fever.
Nice.
Nice. Very
I
cool.
played like 2 shows.
Yeah, I went to one at least.
Yeah. I think I went to at least one. It went away very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
What band was Jonathan in?
oh my god. Blessed to see. That was the name of
Sick.
the band I was in.
And Jordan?
YouTube it if you feel so inspired.
Which band was Jordan in?
I was in Forever at Last for a really long time.
Dude, just still got some good songs. Some bangers.
Bangus. Anyways, we're all came from the music scene, all, involved in music. We've all, I remember back, I was like the band manager, so I did like the same thing. I was working with the screen printers and getting merchandise, figuring out designs, all that. And so I was like, man, what if we literally take the business and like head after a niche? That was too good. Corey.
Sorry. This is what happened whenever y'all weren't looking. We both were trying to be like quiet in front of the mics because the camera wasn't on us. All right, back to your regular scheduled program.
This is a good one. This is a good one, fellas. Yeah, like I was just like, man, let's go after this niche of, man, it would be so cool to design merchandise for bands, to print shirts for bands. Man, it'd be really cool to record bands. Oh, wait, while we're at it, we could actually take photos of bands, and better yet, man, why don't we do some freaking music videos for some bands or some mini documentaries of how they're recording their album? And no joke, all underneath one house.
Yeah.
How freaking cool is that?
You got freaking printing, design, recording, video, photo, the whole dang thing, dude.
Thanks.
If
Lord.
you
I
need
literally
something,
just listed all those.
I know,
things.
but mine was super concise.
Oh, thanks.
and lots of energy.
Yeah. And you see how my arm was moving?
It was just moving like crazy.
If you're just listening to the audio version of this, my arm was going crazy.
No. But yeah, that's it. That's the game plan. So, however, for a little while, Jordan's going to be going to town and running that auto and printing some merch, and we're just going to grow as a business. And as that business starts opening up, more opportunities, and we're going to start promoting, and we're taking it slow, but at the same time, we have some near future goals of how we want that stuff to all play out. So, but in the meantime, Jordan, you are recording bands, right?
I am. Yeah. At my in-between home, my wife and I just sold our house and are getting a house built.
Yeah.
And so we're currently living with some friends, but one of my friends that we're living with already had a home studio. So we like combined all of our stuff, and now we have what we call Mega Studio.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And super cool. It's in this like older house, so like the acoustics are awesome in there, and
Heck yeah.
you know, we've treated some rooms, and just now if Apple would just make their products so that they would work as you upgrade, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bitterness this morning.
Yeah, Jordan's dealing with some tech issues right now.
it'd be fine.
Everyone loves that, right?
Well, cool. So yeah, man, you're gonna be running the auto for a while, and then the studio is going to be being built and building up client base and stuff like that as we're growing into that. But yeah, that's the new business venture. Golden
Yeah.
Press is venturing out on. Said venture twice.
Yeah. All thanks to
And-
Jordan.
Yeah. And also, if you listen to our Shirt Show podcast, and we've been kind of throwing out feelers here and there, but so the new location, it's about 1,700 square feet of warehouse, which is going to be full-blown screen printing production, auto printing. However, we mentioned that there is a basement, a 4,000 square foot basement right underneath the warehouse, and that's where the recording studio is going to be.
It's pretty sweet. It's like a kind of. I remember walking down there for the first time and being like, I don't know, man, doesn't look like it's going to work. And
Looks
then,
like a dungeon.
After you would like envision like, oh, okay, well, this can be the control room.
Yep.
And then, oh yeah, that's the live room. Like it's just going to feel cool.
Yeah.
Like the environment itself is going to be awesome down there. Except there's a lot of exposed brick. So luckily I have some buddies that work for an acoustic treatment company.
Yeah.
And they will be coming to design that space for us.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
The vision down there.
It's exciting. I mean, we just, I don't know, utilize that space as much as humanly possible. We've just talked about really it's 4,000 square feet, and you're like, yeah, but it's a basement. It's like, you can walk around. It's not like you're having to duck your head like every step. Like, it's a decent area. There's plenty of rooms that, it's going to take probably some demo and some really, cleaning it up. But, we're not afraid of
Painting some walls black.
Yeah, exactly. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty for sure. But yeah, we got like the visions, like even having bands like actually stay the night, having like a nice little kitchen area. Like literally, it's like you're coming out to record an album, and we're gonna take care of you. Like every step. So really excited about that. Again, we're going to take it slow, but at the same time, really have some goals set ahead of us to be able to, make it look good, make the whole experience, like I still envision like, man, how cool would it be to do a mini doc of a band just saying, I just wanted to work with Golden Press, and these guys were Corey, can you list off the things able to take care of? Like literally take care of me and my band. Like, and obviously touring bands. And if you're in a band, like, near and dear to my heart, like I know the struggle of the touring band. I know everything it entails. And, we operated just independently ourselves for many, many years, and it's hard to, have to have all these different people you have to contact to get stuff done, to stay on the road, to get, recordings and all that. It's like, man, we can do it all under one house. So it's really, I'm stoked. I know you're stoked, Jordan, but I'm floored.
I can't wait to sit at a desk all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been a dream of mine since I was like 15.
Yeah.
To run a studio full time, because I've been recording like, out of my bedroom when I was a teenager, with trying to find the XLRs to 1/4 inch cables. And I'm like, I only have 4 1/4 inch inputs. So I guess I'm miking a kick drum, a snare, and I guess I'll put one over top of the drum. And then, I'll mic one tom. Like, like since I was young, this is all I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
So now I've being in a band for so long, recording with, some high names. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Huge names.
No, but we recorded with Matt Goldman for our record, who did like Under Oath, Define the Great Line, and like a bunch of Under Oath stuff, and Amberlin and Devil Wears Prada. Like he's worked with a lot of big bands.
Yeah.
So like the experience of working with him, I remember recording and just being like learning from him. Like, yes, I was recording guitar, but I was like paying attention to what he was doing, because I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like I need to learn from this guy, because freaking phenomenal engineer. Like some of the tones and just the stuff we got from there was incredible. And then our friend we've known forever, Bone, or Brian Thorburn is his actual name. Like I've worked with him forever, and he's like, anything he touches is gold.
Yeah.
Maybe he should come work at Golden Press.
Hey man, I'm tired of hiring people, guys.
But like, again, he's one of those guys I've worked with where like, I'm just amazed at how he works. So like while I'm working with him, I'm just studying him. Yeah. And then I just did this course with Jordan Valeriot, who's done like Neck Deep and Silverstein and like a bunch of these other bands. So it's cool to like, I don't know. I've been dreaming about doing this forever and educating myself and learning, and now it's like becoming a reality. It's literally insane.
Been preparing for it for a long time and walking into it now. Yeah. And it's pretty rad, because the reason why I'm excited is because we've been talking about this for a couple of years now. Is our focus at Golden Press. We really wanted to be focused in on excuse me. We really want to be focused in on bands and brands. We've kind of always talked about that. Like we'll print anything, we'll print whatever comes in, but we feel we really excel. With all of our skill sets combined. What we can do, Captain Planet is we can. We can really help out, clothing brands, because we can cover a lot of bases for them under one roof. Same thing now with bands that come in. We could cover a lot of things that they need with one company, instead of having to spread out and pay 6 different invoices for something. You're doing everything with us. That's a lot easier to manage. It's a lot easier to work with one company, and hopefully we work with people that like working with us. And,
exactly.
That kind of stuff, and you get cool relationships out of that, and that's what we're all about. So
I literally all the time I'll be doing design work for someone, and then like kind of wrapping up a job, and like, hey, by the way, do you have someone to print this? And then they're like, I don't. I need someone to print. I'm like, well, perfect. And like that's like that's like a thing that happens all the time. And it's like the same with like Jordan's recording a band, and it's like, hey, do you guys need merch? Like, yeah, but we don't know who to go with. Like, perfect, dude.
I don't know if you noticed while you were walking down to the studio, but we have a screen print shop upstairs.
The The funny thing is it still happens to this day. It's like all the photo, all the video, all the design, all the printing, everything we do that's broadcasted across all of our social media, we still have people like coming in. Yeah, we're going to do a video. It's like, man, I really need like a logo. It's like,
Perfect.
yeah, we do designing. We like literally people are like just not, they just don't know all the things we do. And so it's really cool that we're able to just check off a lot of those boxes for people.
Yeah. So it's looking like it's gonna be rad moving forward. Pretty excited about it. Can't wait to start recording some music.
Yeah.
Mainly just out of like just personal reasons. I want Jordan to make some stuff for me that I can use. That's not like the same like licensing, free music, the same music that everybody else uses on the internet.
Yeah.
Everybody has
Just lo-fi beats with little guitar riffs over
That's
them.
all I need, man.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Some of them have piano in them and be fine.
Yeah.
If you
whatever.
want to take some old timey music and then like make it sound weird and like kind of slower or something
Yep.
in the background, but there's some rain coming down too. That'd be sick.
Corey's not allowed in the studio.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. That's why you do it, dude.
He's like, I don't want to be down there.
I know nothing about freaking sound.
Although you've recorded vocals and a couple things.
Yeah, I guess the other thing that I've recorded was my friend Jonah had had like a parody joke hardcore band
Nice.
called Defeatus. I almost feel like Jordan was a part of naming that.
I
No?
don't think I was.
It was somebody. It was
Don't put
someone
my name on that.
involved with FAL. So
It's probably Jared.
it might have been Jared.
It's always Jared.
Jared Paris, not Jared.
Not me.
Dezay.
The other Jared.
But yeah, Defeatus. What a beautiful name.
Solid.
But yeah, I did like scream vocals on a couple random stupid songs, and also I don't know how to do scream vocals, so I was actually just yelling.
Is it called those?
It works for some people.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was great. It was like the Apple Core song, right?
yeah, Apple Core. Dude, yeah, classic Apple Core, because you got.
Link to Apple Core will be in the show notes.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah. You got a lot of different types of cores out there. You got metalcore. You got what?
I think that's it.
Crab core, hardcore, and then I was like, dude, there needs to be Apple Core, and so I wrote a song about Apple Core.
Oh.
But yeah, apples. But like the starting lyric was,
specifically
"When I eat an apple, I eat it to the core."
All right. Good lyrics.
Oh man, it's deep.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so we will not be recording any of that, but
Yeah,
Jordan's gonna
no.
do a really good job. I promise.
I don't ever want to record anything ever again.
You'll see. Once you go down there and you feel like inspired because of how awesome the room is,
Yeah, then I'll be like, "Bleh,
the
let's
fetus
do it."
will come back.
Defeatist, Apple Core, it's all back.
I think this is the perfect time to transition to whatever the next thing is.
So,
Whatever.
speaking of Apple Core, we have an auto now.
We do.
Uh,
I knew where he was
I thought he
going.
was actually trying to transition somewhere. What is it? What is the thing?
You guys saw. We were part of it.
Yeah.
Our viewers, they saw that we dropped finally this YouTube video revealing the automatic press from Anatol, the Volt.
Volt,
The
baby.
Volt.
Volt, because it's electric.
Because it's electric, baby, no air compressors, and it was a process, and we want to just kind of take you along a little bit deeper into that journey of like what it was like. I mean, let's just start at the beginning. Jonathan, what was it like? Press showing up, install. What was that like?
Yeah. Again, like I hate. We've been saying this. Yeah, we've had a lot going on. Yeah, just a ton has been going on. Same thing for everybody else. So not trying to magnify all of our stuff going on, but it was pretty crazy. But again, now looking back, hindsight 2020, like it is probably just normal. Like transitioning from a manual to an auto and transitioning from one location to two locations. Man, we got, well, obviously you saw the video. That was really fun getting the truck, to the studio to be able to,
I mean, that's
Which I
something.
didn't know any of that
Really?
until I watched the video.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because remember, I was at Disney World when that was all delivered.
Yeah.
Lucky guy.
I
But
hired him and then he went on vacation a week later. Cool. Yeah, I remember that.
like, I feel like that's something that we didn't think about. Nobody thought about.
Yeah, we
like,
didn't.
you need a semi to show up to your location.
Yeah.
Can you handle that?
Well, also we had a lot of equipment. That press is massive. We had some washout booths, flashes, conveyor dryer,
And that
then-
wasn't even the full setup, though. It's
not.
We have some other stuff coming.
Yeah, and then the beast of a press, so yeah, I guess we needed an 18-wheeler,
Yeah.
and good old Franklin, Indiana, we just didn't know there was literally, if you just drive down these streets and there's like no truck zone.
I know. I never
Like,
really knew what those signs meant. I was like, what, a big truck? Whatever. I don't have a truck, so it doesn't matter to me.
But it's funny, the same day we were like waiting for the truck, like we see other like bigger trucks
Yeah.
like driving down the same streets. And however, I guess 18-wheelers are not allowed.
On some of those side streets.
Yeah. However, thank you to our truck driver for breaking the law and getting us our equipment. And then
He did get pulled over, right?
he did. So,
At the
like, you
end.
guys don't know this. If you watch the video, you don't know this. He, like, literally, we're like, sweet, equipment's in. Hey, man, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. No joke. 10 minutes later, he calls me. He's like, hey, man, I just got pulled over. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Well, if you look in the video, you can see that there was cops stationed close to where we were. So they saw us coming in. We had one cop following us. And then we passed by another one that was sitting kind of on one of the side roads. And then as we were unloading in the video, you see another cop car coming by. And that wasn't the only time. Those are just the only times I captured it.
Yes.
So the cops were circling around us. They knew we were there. They were waiting for him to leave, unfortunately.
Yeah. And they, I want to give this shout out could have went very differently. I want to just give a shout out to the Franklin Police. Thank you for being so gracious. The other shout out, if you like gave the guy a ticket, could have been totally different. But
They let him go. They understood.
they
He had
let
to
him
make the
go.
delivery.
It's like, yeah. So appreciate that. Cause I didn't I was going to feel so bad. I was probably going to pay the truck driver's ticket. It's like, what do you do though? And like Corey said, like, that's one thing you don't know.
We didn't think about that.
Didn't think about it. Who could have prepared that prepared it for us? And so funny enough, I jumped on the phone with my peeps at Anatol, and I'm like, hey guys, future equipment coming out. Like, we need to make sure the truck size is the right size so that they can actually make the delivery to our studio and not have issues. So if you're going from manual to auto, put that little thing in your
Make sure
book.
you have a place that a truck can deliver.
Check your streets. Make sure there's trucks can go down it. So, but got the press delivered. We got all the crates in, and no joke, like a few days before all the equipment showed up, the studio was just still in this like, we're getting there stage, but what do we do now with us knowing the press is going to show up, and we're going to literally, after it shows up, then it was like a week later, then our tech was going to come out, and like we were going to have to build this thing. And so my brother and I legitimately was like, hey, let's seal the floor in this area, like kind of where the garage door, where the press is, where the conveyor dryer is. Like, we sealed the floor there. We're like, all right, that's just going to have to do. Then we'll build the press, and then we're going to seal the rest of the floor around it. And it's just what we have to do. The equipment came in, no joke, the same day the crates were in. We had an electrician out putting in lights, and he was standing on crates, and it was still just kind of crazy. But thankfully, hindsight, again, being 2020, it all came together. The press is operating, all the electricity is good, the 3-phase, everything being hooked up, everything running, like, we're functioning.
Yeah.
Is it where I want it to be? Absolutely not. But it's crazy for me to say I'm really content. with where we're at.
Especially because, I mean, you know, whenever everything was delivered that day, there was some framing up, some 2x4s were up for the walls, but there was no drywall, no lights. So we still had like shop lights just illuminating some places where we could see moving around with the forklift.
Yep.
Which that brings up another point.
Things you need to like. I mean, like who the heck has a forklift?
Yeah, you got to rent one of those, unless there's a
have
few
one.
shops that have one.
Yeah.
But if you're going from manual to auto for the first time, you probably don't have a forklift in your back pocket. But one thing we didn't know about initially was you need extended forks. And what we found out, and we're really close to Indianapolis, which is a decent sized city.
Yeah.
And we called a couple different places, and extended forks are not as common as you'd think.
Yeah, hard to come by.
The shop that we rented the equipment from had one set of 8-foot forks.
Yeah.
And then the guys at Anatol told us we could get away with 6-foot forks on the forklift, but they're like, it's a little trickier and you probably want to have an experienced driver.
Yeah.
Luckily Joe, has been running forklifts for a while, but yeah, I mean, you even saw on the end of the video that we did where he's trying to get over our little hump to get in, and he had to come back a little bit because he didn't have speed, and you just saw that thing bouncing.
Yeah, and we could have went the extra measure, which now looking back we should have, but it's is what it is. We could have ratchet strapped it to the actual forklift and this and that, but like thankfully it was all good. But yeah, I mean, like, but that's also, again, it's just hard. Like when your equipment's showing up, it could be showing up within a week, or like I kind of look at that as like, really probably the only way I could have got extended forks was probably had that sucker like saved, or like did like a hold on it like a month ahead of time, you know, because you just don't know. And again, even at that, it's like, can they hold that for you that far out?
Depends on if that company's willing to do
how
that.
much you want to spend to hold that, you know, like there's just all these variables, but you know, again, it's going to just be different for everybody. But extended forks, if not, definitely get some ratchet straps and make sure, you know.
I was gonna say, that's not just an Anatol thing, because when the shop got our M&R for the first time, they said, oh, you're gonna need 8-foot forks. And I remember Alex, my boss, like searching everywhere to find them. And he had I don't remember where he ended up finding them, but again,
8-foot forks.
Look for 8-foot
common.
forks.
Yeah. Just make it work also.
Yeah. What were some like expenses that you didn't expect? Like getting, like, I think when people are like, I'm going to go auto, it's like, obviously you're thinking, I need a conveyor dryer. I need an automatic press. Like that's, you know, like maybe I need platens for the press and stuff, you know, those are things that you think about. You think about screens, but like, you're not necessarily thinking about forklift rental. Right. You're not thinking about, like, we actually got a great deal on a pallet jack.
So, well, our story's a little different because, like, we went full-blown reno and, like, demolition and all that stuff, too. So I can tell you some of those expenses, and then, like, just, hey, if you have a shop and it's ready and, like, the press just needs to show up and, you know, plug it in, like I can talk about.
Not many, like, I mean, do a lot of just standard retail shops have 3-phase or... I don't know how many phases there are.
You can get them of
electricity.
You can get the presses built out where they're not 3-phase, but 3-phase is just more efficient.
And you know, obviously they say when you're going auto that don't think about in that moment, like within that year. You need to think about the next 5 years and expansion and having 2 autos in the space or a tagger in the space, and like, so think about that. And
which is why you didn't get the bare minimum amount of power needed.
No.
You know, so in the space we have 400 amp 400 amp service for the 3-phase.
Yep.
So that you have room to grow. You have some of that wiggle room.
Yep, to grow.
And that costs extra money.
It did. So yeah, just some of the like, so I'll talk about like kind of expenses that I wasn't expecting with the renovation too, that was a in my eyes, super necessary. Like, to get the space the way I wanted it. Because, you know, I'm a visionary. I knew, like, it's funny, my wife, she is a visionary. She can, like, walk into, like, a house and be like, yep, I can visualize the renovation, this and this and this. If you see photos of our house, they're immaculate, and my wife does a phenomenal job. She walked into that space and was like, I don't see it, honey. And I was like, well, that's good. I do.
Real encouragement there, right?
Yeah, especially. No, but I remember she walked in, like, after we had the ceiling painted and walls were up, and she goes, wow, like, this is really cool. But was, you know, like, walking in the space, I knew I wanted to do something with the floors, you know, like the floors were pretty grimy. We thought they were just dirty, but in all reality, there was a layer of dirt, paint, epoxy, all that. I had to rent a concrete grinder, a day rental for $1,500.
Yeah.
That's a expense you don't want to pay. But I also rented a floor
buffer
polisher with a grinding disc.
I was gonna say, it took
do the
you
job.
a couple tries to get the right thing.
That didn't do. Then I ordered a concrete grinder. They didn't give me the proper discs and like weights to actually sit on top of the machine, and so had to literally take that back. But because I didn't have a truck, I actually went to rent a truck to go pick up the piece of equipment, then to have to hit up a buddy, AJ, shout out AJ Thomas, you're the man, to literally take that rental back because it didn't work. And then I was just like, all right, let's call around. What do I need to get this sucker like done and done fast?
Yeah.
And it was a concrete grinder. So $1,500 for a day rental. Thankfully, we literally got the rental day before a snowstorm came in. And the guy looked at my brother when he dropped it off. He's like, I'm not coming tomorrow to pick this up. So we got a few day rental for the same price, and that was sweet. So wanted the floor looking good so we could get that sealed. So we could clean it. You know, that's a big thing that have to do in the shop.
Yeah.
You know, auto shop, you guys already tell. Like just with us running the jobs we've ran, there's just lint underneath the press everywhere. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to vacuum it up, be able to mop it up really nice and keep the place looking good. So that was an unexpected expense.
You expected to spend some money on the floor,
yeah,
but not as much.
Yeah.
Not as much money and as much time.
Correct.
We sunk a lot more time into the floor than what we initially expected.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then another expense that I didn't expect to buy was I actually bought a scissor lift.
Yeah.
To forget about that. A little scissor lift so my brother could like literally grind down the brick and, you know, so that was another expense. I actually just bought that. I've gotten my money out of it. That's for sure. If you need a scissor lift, hit me up. I got you. And then electrical in this bad boy. So like, again, we had to tear down the ceiling and the drop ceiling, and they had old janky lights. And so we do a lot of filming photos, and I was like, got to get some lights in there.
I mean, now even that we're running the auto, it's not just, we need lights for filming and photo. We need lights just to see our prints.
We have to get more lights.
Yeah. We don't have enough. And
again, that's another expense I didn't really like I knew it needed to be well lit, but I'm like, here's an expense that you just, you know, it's either on the landlord or whatever you kind of work out. But like, you know, we said I didn't pay for the 3-phase being installed. That was what my landlord took care of. Andy took care of putting an AC unit on the roof. So those were his part of his deal. However, running the electrical from the box, and we were able to run it into the basement, so we have no drop wires and make it look nice and clean. I love how it looks. We were able to run all the electrical underneath in the basement and up through the floor. However, the conduit and the wires and just everything that went into that. And then the lights that we do have that light up the studio. That was an $8,000 expense that I was not expecting. but again, like we need it,
Yeah.
like we needed it, had to get it done. And
that's not even one of those like, oh, I'm going to do it this way because I want it to look a certain way. That's just, I need the power.
I need electricity.
I need it ran.
Yeah.
I just had to spend it.
Yeah.
I need electricity to the lights that are, in this space. And
yeah,
Because you are particular and you'll spend a little more money to make something look a certain way.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's one of those things where like, some people could look at this and be like, okay, yeah, you spent that much on it. But there's no way around that. Got to have power to run all this stuff. This wasn't an aesthetic
exactly
thing. This was
it's all in the basement. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
oh, cool. You don't even see it, but also, we're not done on electric, and there we have 0 outlets
On the walls, yeah.
on the walls, which
We have one that's bent.
yeah, we have one
from the leftover from before that's just dangling.
yeah. So yeah,
That's up to code.
yeah, we still have some electrical to do. That was a crazy expense. It's like I knew about it, but I just didn't know, Let's see.
Something I was thinking is, like, we went with the Anatol Vault,
Yeah.
which has no air.
Correct.
So if you're not doing all servo,
Yep.
that's something you got to think about too, is getting an air compressor
Yep.
and one that is like strong enough or has a big enough tank to power your machine,
Yep.
which also aren't cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and then a actual chiller, which you need that with the air compressor, and just those are just expenses that I remember when, like, I was like, yeah, I'm going auto. I didn't know about those expenses.
Yeah.
It's like you're spending X amount of money on this equipment and this press, and you're like, oh yeah, well, to actually run this thing, you need these. And It's
Yeah.
like, oh, the cheap one's $3,000 or maybe $5,000. Oh, but I need a chiller too. Oh, okay.
But something that we've kind of ran into right now is like platens on the press, and that's something you expect. Like, yeah, I need platens to put shirts on. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But okay, we got a 14 platens.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then, well, what if all the clients you work with say, hey, I want tags on my shirts?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good thing we have our manual shop over here that we're running shirts down the road, because we don't have 14 tag platens.
Yeah.
Or somebody wants youth shirts and they
Yeah.
won't fit on a normal
We
platen.
actually got a job here recently that I looked at the PO and I was like, crap, these are youth shirts. And then like it was like a youth small. We're like, is there any way we can fit this shirt? And it was one of those jobs where it didn't work out, which was fine. But that's the thing you have to think about.
and
Like,
that-
what's your niche? Are you going to work with schools, elementary schools? Like, yeah, you're going to have to, depending on.
And you can't just buy 4.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
us, you have to buy 14.
Yeah.
You want your machine to run efficiently.
Exactly. And so again, another thing to think about, just when you're going auto, like what's your niche market? Make sure you have what you need from the get-go.
Doing sleeve prints, doing all that stuff. It's like, we've been in the manual game for so long. And so like we over time acquire these different things, and then it's like, oh, we got 8 stations or whatever, like whatever, get some platens. And we don't necessarily have we probably don't have 6 sleeve platens.
You have 4, right?
Have 4.
But
Yeah.
even that, like, you're doing a manual.
Yeah.
You could do one at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the auto, it's so like inefficient to be like, okay, go over, print 1, come back, unload it, load, go over, print 1.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because at that point, what's the point of having the auto?
Right.
If you're going to do that, stay on the manual.
So that's what, with the manual, you can buy 1 tag platen or 1 sleeve platen.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're in the beginning stages of that. And again, how a majority of shops do it, just like a manual shop, is you get a big job that you can justify the price, and you're like, all right, well, I'm not making any profit off this job, or my profit's not going to be as much, and I'm going to buy those youth platens or sleeve platens. And so just something to think about.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So you're running jobs nowadays. What's something awesome about running jobs on this kind of machine?
Jordan, you want to take this one?
Your shoulders feel a lot better.
Yeah.
You did come back. Now, whenever you first started, you
Yeah.
did come back and you were like, "Oh, I miss manually printing."
I did because
For
it
a
was
solid day.
Well, I manually printed for a week, then went on vacation, and then came back and manually printed for like a week,
Yeah.
and then we've been over there.
Yep.
So I remember, at first I was like, oh, yeah, the fun part of screen printing again, manually pulling, a squeegee.
I'm doing art.
Right. But then, like, the end of that day, and I go home, I'm like, oh, I forgot. But standing all day and pulling. And then, so that was fun.
Yeah.
So honestly, I mean, that's a big thing. Your fatigue level,
Yeah.
Yep.
because you're not, I mean, and John got us a nice mat to stand on. So now,
Oh, yeah.
now it's really nice.
I upgraded that. I think it's 5/8. Yeah, a little over an
I remember the
eighth or
first
a
couple
half
times
inch.
we ran jobs on the auto, we didn't have a mat, and I was like, "Dude, we're gonna have to get something in here." And
And
he
I
was
was
like,
like,
"Yeah, we'll get something." And then like a week later, he's like, "Man, I got to get a mat in here."
just standing on concrete, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that is a benefit. I didn't realize as much. Like that rug underneath our press in there, it actually does absorb
and,
a little bit.
And it's like wood floor
With
with
the,
the,
yeah.
wood,
So
the
there's-
rug, you got
yeah.
a little bit of
Yeah.
give. It's not straight, just
Yeah.
stone.
Yeah, so I
But
got
not-
that mat
yeah.
pretty dang quick.
and it's great.
yeah.
And then just speed.
Speed,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's just so much faster and precise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran our first process print, CMYK print.
It worked like a dream.
Yeah.
Did. And there was no way. Like that. The guys will tell you. I was a little stressed. I kept on telling Jordan. Jordan's like, "Yeah, don't stress about it. It's fine." And I'm like, "Dude, we got like 300 shirts,
He was
two
like,
jobs."
It's due in 4 weeks. I'm like, dude, we'll be okay. Do it.
But you'd never done it before.
Exactly. I'd never done it. And I was anticipating tons of mess ups. I just was.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a new thing. We're going to figure it out. We're going to mess up shirts.
Now you were, I don't want to say avoiding doing, process printing, but you were intentionally waiting
Yeah.
for the auto.
Even though the people in Indonesia do it.
Do it with,
Again, shout out to the.
With their
barely,
eyes closed.
yeah, barely
Yeah, dude.
anything.
They just grabbing screens, throwing them around, dude. It's like boom, perfect.
attaches to this
freaking.
Just setting them on tables.
Yeah, dude, and it's just perfect freaking prints.
But that's one of the things you were waiting on was the auto to do that, right?
Yeah, and like I was working with that client for it was like 2 months. Like it was a big deal for them. They invested a lot of money in some merchandise and we were just trying to nail down everything. And it was like they sent over a job. It was over 16 plus colors, and I'm like, well, I got an auto. I can do 10, like up to 10 colors.
We can do 12 and not flash them.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
I
like,
don't know how it's going to look at the end.
I was like, and then literally it was Corey was just like, yeah, I watched a video once. Here, let me figure out how to actually separate the artwork. And we do not have a
we don't
RIP
have
software.
No,
nothing.
If you're out there using RIP software, good for you, man. We used one for a season, and
Like it went away. Like
Yeah,
it had
I don't-
problems and went away.
Not
Yeah.
to say we wouldn't get one in the future for certain things.
Yeah.
However, we do this really fun thing called figuring it out and just
Yeah.
finding a process that works.
yeah, and our process works, man. Like literally,
was so good.
Yeah, and I jumped into Photoshop and separated the layers into cyan, magenta, yellow, black,
Yeah.
white underbase, and figured it all out, and just did like bit mapping and halftoning the whole thing. And like, dude, this is like I feel like this is like my signature phrase where I'm like, yeah, I think I got it. Like, yeah, I think it worked. Like
we were all in that
Yeah.
that same mindset because I don't
Like-
think you.
We had done like some process, but not like a full.
yeah, and so like I see all these like little halftones, and I was like making sure like, okay, like this one would be the cyan color, this one's that, and I'm like looking at my screen and I'm like, allegedly technically this should work. If you place them there, it will work.
Yeah.
And like, dude, and then then I tossed it away. Like, all right, there, Jonathan, it's in your hands. Like, good luck.
Yeah, the cool thing about that was like I was like, oh, so you have it separated? Here, show me. And he's like, okay, well, here's yellow. Here's, and he like just touched each layer. And I was like, okay, I feel better about it. And then it's like, oh crap, I got to burn these screens now, like to get all the detail and
because it was high detail, right?
High detailed. I literally had my little magnifying glass, that one, magnifying glass, and I literally covered every square inch of each screen just to make sure all the halftones washed out. Note to self, if you're doing that, literally get yourself a water dunk tank because it changed the game. The design fell out so beautifully. I was literally, when I burned the screens, I was like, holy crap, I just did that.
Yeah.
Like, again, it was
Dude,
like,
it was like every process was like, I can't believe it worked. I can't believe it worked.
I remember even setting it up, and we would do like layer by layer, and then once we got the cyan on there, John goes, oh my gosh, I think this is working. And then we printed the black, and he's like, holy heck.
Yeah. And then Jordan, you want to tell everyone how long it took me to set that job up?
Oh.
It was over an hour.
Yeah.
Like, for all you professionals out there that can register, real quick, good for you.
That was something that isn't a big adjustment from going from manual to auto too, is like the whole registration system with the micros.
Yeah.
Totally different over
It
there.
is.
It's even way different from like the M&R that I was used to because it was, air powered. So you'd lock it in and then you'd clamp down. Well, this one is like levers. Yep. And what we found out is that when you pull that lever, it slightly shifts.
Because you have it too tight.
Yeah, because it's too tight, which we didn't know at first. So then we started adjusting it, and now we got it dialed in where we can set up jobs pretty quickly.
Yeah, but the cool thing is like, I know Jordan was just like, he was just watching me register to this thing, and I was like, man, he's like, man, John's gonna like yell at me because I don't, like, I'm doing nothing.
I literally asked you, like, do you care if I just sit down?
Yeah, he did. I was like, no, man. I was like, I'm like, I was just nervous about the job. I just was, because we were on a time limit, and it was within
we still had 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks, guys, 2 weeks. But like, I was anticipating messing up shirts and having to reorder shirts, and then those shirts coming in, and then like, that's what I was anticipating.
And that's one of those jobs where you just leave it on the press because there's no tearing that down and starting over, or you're gonna set yourself back even more hours.
Yeah. So it took me over an hour. I lined it up, but guess what? Was the press or the test print perfect? Perfect.
Dude.
Taped up the registration marks, ran the job flawlessly.
Yeah.
Like we had to adjust the temperature. Yeah, because all the colors laying on top of each other, it was just going through
we were
a little.
baking it, and all the inks were like.
But we adjusted that, and no joke, we ran the job and knocked out those 300 shirts in, I think, a day and a half to maybe at the most. So
yeah, dude, amazing. Like
amazing.
And it really, it's like the auto, like it has that consistent angles. It has these consistent things on it.
Yeah. But again, we couldn't have got that job done if we didn't have the auto. I was waiting for the auto to be set up to do the job, and it proved itself.
Well, that's what I was going to say is like, yeah, we did 300 shirts in a day and a half, 2 days or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or some people might hear that and be like, oh, you got an auto and you only did 300 shirts in 2 days. But like, think about that on a manual.
Yeah.
That would have been a week.
Yeah.
And like, that was one of our early jobs on the auto. So we were
it
still
was,
like going slow, trying to.
Second job?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe second or third.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's something that's setting expectations, managing your expectations early, I think is important because you hear the sales pitch, right?
Yeah.
300 shirts an hour. And it's like, that's great. That's great that it's possible to do that.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to do that in week one? No, that's not possible.
Yeah.
And so managing those expectations of saying like, all right, so I'll work up to those speeds.
Yeah.
Because still it's faster than doing it manual.
Exactly.
Like
a
lot faster than on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And what I heard in the industry and from Andy, thanks Andy, like I was blowing up his phone and we were talking and he was helping me out, like dial in some things. And what I heard just constantly was, don't go fast. Your machine can go fast. Get used to it. Like, and we're getting better now, but literally running those jobs, our dwell time was at a 9.9. So what that means is, it would like literally you have time to load the shirt on, and literally we would have that shirt loaded on the press before it even sunk down for its dwell
before
time.
it stopped. Yeah, before dwell time started. Yeah.
But we would we just took our time, and and that's key. If you're listening, just go slow. It's all good. You're still, like we said, you're just going to knock out so many shirts that day. But the flip side of being able to knock out so many shirts a day is, guess what? You mess up a lot of shirts, and you have to take that in consideration of like, I literally, like, we would load that, and like we'd have, the yellow would print, and like we would be walking around and following the shirts go around the press. Like we were just spending a lot of time on focusing, and it paid off. It really did.
Because like you were saying though, because if you're trying to push it and you're trying to make it go quickly, then if you do make a mistake, then by the time you catch it, some of the time it's
you could have messed up 14 shirts.
Yeah, and it's like, oh crap,
which then sets you back on the back end.
Now you're out more time and money because you got to buy more shirts to replace those because you probably weren't planning on spoiling 14 shirts.
Didn't put that in there for sure.
It's something, another just kind of funny mess up that happens on autos that will never happen on a manual is printing platens. You got to be trying hard and not paying attention at all to print a platen on a manual. Really?
Oh yeah, you get in a rhythm and you're like.
Shout out to Trey, Heritage Press. He printed on manual while he was sending me a Marco Polo once.
He printed his platen on those.
Okay.
He's like,
dude, if you get distracted.
And then he was like spraying it, and he's like, oh, I'm good. He's like, dang it. And he just started ripping up the tape.
Yeah. But like, dude, literally, like we were trying to dial in a job. We were trying to like figure out, like getting things going. And I'm talking to Jordan, and
I hit test print after I moved it over to Flash, and I thought I was on the Flash thing, and I hit test print, and it just,
dude, it made the worst sound ever. Just like
it wasn't just like I printed a platen; it was fresh glue.
Yeah, fresh glue on the platen, and so it rips the emulsion out of the screen. The screen actually didn't pop, which was really amazing.
Yeah, shout out.
But it sounded like
Frank.
it did. Yeah.
Frank. Shout out to Frank and GSF.
Yeah, the screens are awesome.
But like oh. Dang it.
But we did.
And then I tried to fix it. I was like, oh, maybe I can tape this up.
Like, dude, there's no way.
Yeah, I didn't.
I just love it because like he feels like when he messes up, it's like the end of the world. He's like, dude, you're going to be mad I messed up. And I'm like, dude, it freaking happens, man.
Yeah.
Like he was like literally trying to tape where all the emulsion came. I was like, dude, we'll just burn a new screen. It's all good.
Screen,
Yeah. But it's just like, you got to do that sometimes. And like, didn't expect that to happen.
Which is another great reason to like slow down, get to know it, get the rhythm, learn. It's a completely different rhythm than manually printing.
Well, and if it's like, sure, you can do 300 shirts an hour, but to keep that pace for 8 hours a day, you just die at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go home and you have to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's shops that do that, and there's shops that have the employees to take over in the scheduling and the because you can only do so much. And shout out to all those shops that literally run that all day long. But here's the thing: why did I get the auto? Quality of life for time, saving time. What would take us, run X amount of jobs on the manual, we can run it in a half a day on the auto. And then we have the rest of the day to do all the other things that we enjoy to do. So it's like, we're still in that, again, we're slowly figuring it out. But I will say it's nice.
Well, and growing into more jobs, growing into that higher level of shirts coming in and shirts going out, growing into that. But yeah, that wasn't the main reason, because we have, thousands of orders sitting on standby. It was, man, we are an unusual shop. Where we have a lot of other, things happening. We're not just printing. And so being able to give ourselves more time to do things like the podcast, things like YouTube stuff, and then just in general, all the other stuff that we're doing. It's just having that time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What was for you, Jonathan? Yeah, because like Jordan, you got some experience in the auto world, so you kind of like already learned some. But like Jonathan, like jumping into it, What is the hardest thing for you what was the hardest thing to learn for you jumping into the auto realm?
I can answer that for you.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan.
When one gets back around, how to manually get it to go over so it's a machine. When you're running it by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like,
Sorry, that makes sense to nobody but me and John.
yeah, exactly. No, there's like, it's figuring out like our cycles mode and stuff on that press. I will say that, yeah, that's definitely one, like we had to figure it out, like
Oh, yeah, it took-
like
Because it's different, like from M&R, how I was used to setting up what they call revolver mode.
Yeah.
Is different from cycles mode on the
Yeah.
Anatol.
Yep.
And it took us probably a couple days to like really figure out, okay, this is how we do this so that it runs the way that it should.
Yep. Yeah. So that was definitely one. I mean, I think really for me it's registration.
Yeah.
Like it's still like for me, it's, and we still have some equipment coming in and some stuff that will really dial stuff in. But like one lighting in there, like we said, it's just really hard to like register up a screen.
Yeah.
And
with the manual, you don't have giant arms over top of your screen.
True.
You get, like,
Creating
on the
shadows.
screen to do your
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah, and I stole a little aperture light that we use for like backlighting, and like I literally have to have that. Like,
it's a little light that just is like a little accent light that me and Corey use 90% of the time we're shooting, but we haven't had access to it for about a month.
That's right.
Because Jonathan's taken it because he cannot see, because we don't have enough light in the space yet.
Yeah. But yeah, so registering's been pretty hard, but again, we've been doing more than just one color jobs. Like, man, a one color job on that press is just
a dream.
It's a dream. It's just like good night.
Especially
like
when somebody wants vintage prints. Remember there's like a smaller, there's like 50 some shirts and it's like, I was like, so this is a print flash print white? He's like, nope, vintage print. And I'm like, dude, these would be done in 10 minutes.
Yeah. And he's like, and I'm like, really? Like, yeah, okay. And I leave and come back and I'm like, wait, those are done? Sweet.
Yeah.
Like,
So please send us all the
vintage prints.
One color vintage prints.
That's how Jonathan started, right?
Dude.
You started just pitching those
No,
vintage.
I want that design bright and opaque, and I'm like, no.
No,
Let me tell you what's in style.
That's gonna feel terrible on the shirt.
Oh man, I sold so many vintage prints. Well, I actually didn't have a flash dryer for the first year, and so if I did a few jobs, and it was a heat gun. So, but yeah, no, the hardest thing I would say just still is spending time registering the print, and I am, like I'm different, from Jordan in the aspect of like I want to get that test print on before we're I hate adjusting as soon as the screens are on the press. I know it's a part of it, but I really want to get that dialed in first try to where we can just first test print, it's dialed in. And Jordan, he's a lot better at here, I just gonna tweak this just a little bit. And I'm
adjusting on the fly.
And I'm just like, no, I hate that. But it's also it's each step that I'm still trying to figure out. And we have more equipment that's gonna help that whole process. So getting that dialed after I feel really comfortable on that, being able to throw a 5-color job on the press and get it registered fairly quick, I'll feel a lot better. But again, I don't feel bad. It's just my challenge.
What give it a timeline? What would be fairly quick to you versus what you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean,
how long is it normally taking you to register a multicolor job?
Well, one job the other day, my brain was all over the place, but I was probably 20 minutes in. I was like, hey, Jordan, you got this? And I just left.
And it was funny because he left, and then I was like, yeah, I'll just do this quick adjustment here. And then it was set up. And
yeah, I was like, cool, man. Thanks for showing me up. No, it's good.
Well, it's because I've done adjustments on an auto.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's different. So I have these little mental tricks and how I just know how to do it.
Also, if you have a lot of stuff going on, people don't do this enough.
Yeah.
Walk away for a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're having if something's bothering you,
yeah,
walk away. take your hands off of it, go put your hands on something else for a little bit.
Like
and then come
another
back to
person.
Yeah.
it. Sometimes.
Lay some hands.
And literally this is what it was is I came into the studio because I wanted to get Jordan prepped. Like we're trying to like get ahead.
Yeah.
Like within jobs and just really we're helping each other out. And my thing was like, oh sweet, Jordan's going to go do this. He's going to come over here, burn some screens, and I'm going to get that 3-color back set up, registered. So when he brings those screens over, he's set up, ready to go. Just needs to run it. And so like we're just playing that back and forth. I have other things I can be doing, but my brain's like, oh well, I started it, so I'm going to finish it and get it dialed in. And yeah, I'm learning. And
task-driven person.
Exactly. And so, yeah, like I jumped off it and went to do the other things I needed to do for the day. And Jordan did what I'm paying him to do. Like, weird.
Look at that delegation happening. Whew. It's funny, like in that last statement you just said, just so people realize still what's happening is in our location where our manual shop is where we're mixing ink and prepping artwork and burning screens and reclaiming screens, and then you're either walking or driving because it's been really gross and rainy.
Yeah.
You're having to drive screens or walking screens over to the other location.
I literally walked some over this morning.
Yeah. Because we have to do that right now because one, in the new studio we don't have the washout room set up, so there's no water there yet or anything like that. We have some booths, but they can't do anything yet.
Right.
And we don't have a dark room over there yet, it just at all. We have the structure. We have some walls up.
Yep.
And so right now, like that in and of itself is so inefficient. It's the opposite of what you want to do is having to prep screens somewhere else and going back and forth. So like just that alone is obviously,
it's a lot.
It's not the smoothest process of getting a job going.
Right.
And so, we were just talking, a little bit about how you were like, oh, my brain was in 100 different places while I was trying to like register this print. It's like, well, yeah, it's because you're physically having to go, back and forth places and you're not just able to get right to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Like efficiency would be freaking spot on once the space, gets finished up, just function, fully functional. I could really like the looks of everything. It'll come later, but yeah, as soon as we get fully functioning, we'll really be efficient over there.
Yeah.
And but it really in this moment, it just excites me.
Yeah.
It really does. Like what we're doing excites me because we're getting jobs. Like I'm having to do crazy sales. I'm having to keep these orders going because he is always like, these jobs are just getting done.
And that machine doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
If I'm over there, it doesn't stop all day, except for lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it's back to running.
Yeah, and so what we're doing, it's working. Is it how I like envisioned it? No, but it's working, and we got a little system, and it's working really well.
Well, the plan had to shift halfway through where it came to the point where it was like, okay,
It's not getting done.
what we need to do now is just get the press set up so we can be getting jobs out the door. We'll finish the studio around the press.
Yeah.
Which has brought its own challenges.
Yeah.
Drywall dust everywhere, floating around, getting on everything, stuff like that. Like it brought its own level of challenges, but, just part of that process of getting everything else finished. But like you said, once you get the other sections of the studio done, efficiency will be right where you want it.
Yep.
And be ready to roll.
Yeah. So that's a lot of awesome things happening.
Yeah, a little taste of what it's like for us to kind of jump into this realm.
A little taste of the past month.
Yeah. I mean, it's been some crazy month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. You lean into wrapping things up, but what is like the number one thing you think someone should consider or have in mind if they're thinking, hey, I'm going to jump into the auto world?
Yeah.
Going manual printer, what should they consider?
Man, there's just so many things. What were we talking earlier? Like was like the main thing that we all really.
Well, so this is from my perspective, not being a printer, but as and I've talked about this with cameras before with people, because we get a lot of questions, me and Corey specifically get a ton of questions about camera equipment. Should I get this camera? Is this a good camera to have? What do you guys use? Stuff like that. Yeah. And I always give the same answer to people. Yeah. And it's always, listen, wait for whatever you have to limit your creativity, to limit your ability to work. Once that tool is limiting your creativity, and I think we've even talked about this on the podcast before, that's when it's time to upgrade. Yeah. That's when it's time to move forward in the next version, the next step, the next phase, whatever. If you do those things too early, if you make those jumps too early, you end up putting yourself in a bind. And it can be financial or in just another way, getting yourself jammed up. Yeah. And I've done that. I've made that mistake, and that's why I'm so vocal about it now. Is because I've put financial stress on my family by purchasing equipment too soon when I wasn't ready for it, unnecessarily. Yeah, it was an unnecessary risk. Yeah, which I think part of owning a business and running a business is taking calculated risks and doing those things, and it's important to do. But I think it's also important to learn that it's not always about the gear, and we need to develop our skills, develop our art. That's the biggest part of everything that we create, whether it's screen printing, music, photo, video, design. Yeah. It's all art form. It's all art. And we need to get better at the art before the gear. Yeah. A lot of times, consumer America gets real focused on the things.
Yeah. What do you have?
Yeah, exactly. What's the next best? What's the prettiest? What's the new, and listen, I'm a gearhead and I love it. I probably love opening boxes more than anybody else. Yeah. It's my favorite thing. I enjoy that very much. But that's why I have to check myself all the time of saying, like, okay, am I being limited in my work, in my art, in my creativity by the tools that I have? Yeah. And if the answer is yes, for whatever reason, whether it's I'm being limited on time, I'm being limited on finances. Maybe I'm not able to make as much money because I don't have the next tool. Right. If I'm a roofer and I'm just working with a regular hammer, and I could be making a lot more money if I just get a nail gun. Yeah. Then maybe I should do that. Yeah. So sometimes you got to invest in the next thing to either give yourself more time, more money, or just
be more efficient.
Speed, those kind of things. Where are you being limited? Maybe it is I have an injured shoulder from something. And I love printing. When we talked to people before, they're like, I just can't do it anymore. Yeah. It's like, they make smaller autos. Yeah. Where it's not, maybe you don't need a 14 station auto. Right. Maybe you get a 6 station auto. Yeah. And the benefit is that you're not destroying your body, all day, every day. Yeah. So you got to find where are those, I don't know. I just talked a lot, but that's great. I'm going to let somebody else answer as well.
Well, we talked about that a little bit before we started, and that's the same thing with recording equipment. You know what I mean? Like I actually kind of just got myself in that same situation where I upgraded to these new interfaces, and then now they're the source of why I'm having all these tech issues. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I thought I was making the right thing, but now I'm like, oh, maybe if I look back, I didn't need to upgrade to those. Yeah. Or maybe I did need an upgrade, but I jumped to the top of the line instead of, somewhere between to just get me to that next level. Right. Yeah. But it's like, same with microphones and all that stuff. Like, sorry, I don't. Yeah.
Well, finding the thing that works, though.
Dude, even, I guess we're just going around. But even for me, I am still using first generation iPad, like first generation Apple Pencil.
iPad Pro.
iPad Pro.
Not the first generation
iPad. iPad. Yeah. I'm current, like, they're on like freaking 4, no, maybe 5.
I'm not sure.
They're up there with like the generations of iPad Pros that have come out. I'm still effectively getting all of my work done, no problem, on the iPad, first generation iPad Pro, using Procreate, drawing stuff every day. Yeah. I use it every day. And so like sometimes people are like, hey Corey, like what iPad are you using? Or like, what should I get the new one? And I'm like, I mean, I'd maybe get the second generation. I don't know. I don't think you always need to like just drop. Oh, I got to drop a few $1,000s on the newest thing that just came out. And we're like, dude, I'm still rocking this old one that's working like a dream. Yeah. Maybe you don't need to, maybe find one that's used or something that can get it done for you.
Find
And
the thing that's going to work best for what you need it for.
Yeah. And maybe eventually I'll get to a place where it's like, okay, you know, I'm completely out of storage. I'm completely out of whatever. Like, hey, like the screen's broken or something, you know, like then it's like, all right, I need to bump it up and maybe I'll get like a newer one. Maybe, I don't know if I'll get the newest one, but dude, literally I'm still running everything fine on first generation stuff. So yeah, man.
Yeah. I think, you know, number one thing, just considering going to auto is just the fact that like what's important to you, like that was literally that was probably my number one decision of like what's important to me and what's important to this business, and it's time. That's the thing, is
The one thing we need more of.
yeah. And the one thing you can't get back and that's, this auto has created time for me to be with my family more. Yesterday I left at 3:00 to do a hair appointment with my family.
Yeah. He went to the salon.
But like I legitimately, I probably wouldn't have been so relaxed with that because I know Jordan was over there knocking out numerous orders, all within the same day, and I could leave and I could not be like, oh, we got to get these done. I got to be here. I got to micromanage. It's like, no, like it's time. And then the other big thing for us is time, us doing stuff we love. And that auto has created that, and that's awesome.
Gives us the ability to create.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what we were born to do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that's rad. That's always my thing with anytime we're going to upgrade something is do we need it?
Is it necessary?
Do we need it to get done what we want? And if it is, then hey, then you got to pull that trigger.
Yeah.
And you got to find a way to make it work.
Yep.
Yeah, because we have friends that are crushing the print game, and they're just still rocking manual, just doing their thing.
Small manual presses.
And like, dude,
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and they're providing for their family, providing for, you know, everything they need, and they may never want to move into an auto. They're like, this is exactly, they're dialed.
Yep.
And but then for us, for our particular situation, I was like, it might just be the thing that's going to change everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you got to find what's going to work for you, what's going to fit you the best.
Yep.
What's going to make your situation, run as smooth as possible.
Absolutely.
So sorry that wasn't a tied up in a pretty bow.
No, dude.
One answer.
That was one of the best bows I've ever seen.
Ooh.
You're like a Boy Scout with that bow.
I was a Boy Scout.
Like I said.
I didn't go all the way. I didn't finish, but sorry. Apologize.
Who are you apologizing to?
Everyone.
Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah.
Everyone listening.
The BSA. What?
Yeah.
BSA. Orf. Eagles.
All right. Awesome. So to recap a couple things, we're gonna reach back out on the gold ticket stuff. Don't worry, we didn't forget about it. It's just been a hectic little time frame for us. We do apologize that it's taken so long, but we're gonna get that stuff rolling, and we're gonna try to stay on the podcast more regularly. This is fun.
Yeah, I mean, we just told you we have so much time nowadays. So.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's great. We're stoked to have Jordan with us.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
This was way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan was super nervous beforehand. He's like, not nervous, but just
because I like to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the microphone. I want to be controlling the microphone.
Sure. Yeah. But I did put the controls in front of you so you feel better, more comfortable.
I made some adjustments.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But
I didn't hit the cricket button like you told me not.
Thank you. Jeez. You want to get one in there?
Yeah.
It's that one, yeah. Oh, there they are.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay. But so Jordan's here. It's awesome. He's a good buddy. We've known him for a while, and so it just fits in with the team so great.
Yeah.
That's always the thing I think it's super hard hiring new people to make sure that they fit.
Yeah, like a glove.
Dynamic.
And he's the perfect golden boy.
Perfect.
He's our golden boy.
And he already wears black and gold all the time.
Yeah, literally his
It's like the
favorite
only thing
color.
he wears.
Colors.
Yeah.
So it works out perfect.
Yeah.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
Brad.
There you go, guys. We'll see you there. We'll see you in the air. We'll see you on the next podcast. We'll arf on you later. Arf?
Arf.
Arf? Arf?
I hate that.
All right. Hey. Well,
I love you.
yeah.
Love you, Corey.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
We'll see you there.
Later.
I also love you guys.
Arf?
Yeah. Captain Planet again, one last time.
One,
Our
two.
powers combined.
Planet!